Epic Games appealing that Friday court ruling that said Apple was not running an illegal monopoly with its App Store. Epic, the creator of the popular Fortnite video game, did win that partial victory. The judge ruling that Apple must allow developers to include external payment links. It's been 72 hours. People still can't make up their minds about whether this was uniformly good or bad.
I went through it. Apple won on almost everything. The only thing that Judge Rogers could find for Epic was that there could be incipient antitrust violations under the Cartwright Act, which is not even the Sherman antitrust. This was a very big win for Apple, completely misinterpreted by the analysts, because frankly, whatever remedy she didn't give, did not give Apple remedy. But if Apple sends you an email saying, "Hey, listen, you can do this," that's all that Apple has to do. I think that Epic appealed because Epic basically lost almost everything. Epic has basically failed to prove any sort of monopoly. David, when you go through this ruling, which was one of the shoddiest rulings I can recall, you frankly are shocked that a judge could literally say that Apple did this wrong and not give a remedy. I mean,
why do you call it the shoddiness? Is because of that? Because there was no remedy? Why do you call it shoddy?
Because most of the opinion is about what's about gaming and whether Apple did something about gaming, transaction gaming. I mean, it was when I went to law school, I had this judge, I had this professor Phil Rita, and he taught us that you can really antitrust law is kind of like 7 pages. There's really not much to it. You either violated Sherman, you violated Clayton, nothing, and they have nothing here. And I think that Epic had to appeal. Apple may not even appeal. It's so small. I was in shock that this stock was down 5%, maybe 1% of revenue.
It's turned around, and Epic is the one who's going to potentially appeal.
Look, Epic was thinking, listen, it could be Sherman antitrust. There is no Sherman antitrust. Cartwright antitrust. I mean, Cartwright. I mean, we're talking about some California thing. And by the way, it wasn't antitrust, David. It was incipient antitrust. I mean, when you read it, the only thing they won was that conduct falls within the purview of an incipient antitrust violation of the Cartwright Act. I mean, hello? Hey, Sherman is the
right, that's California, isn't it?
Yeah, right. They didn't even get Sherman. So I look at this. I could not believe the stock was down. It was such a big win for Apple. They won about 9 out of 10. But you know what? You had to get to page 166, and it was really, really hard. And only if you're watching the destruction of the Falcons could you really get through this whole thing. All right, David? It took that long. Fortunately, the Eagles were so far ahead, I could finish them.
I didn't watch any football yesterday, so.
You know, I was talking to my wife about this, and I said, this is a really hard decision. She had Siri on. She goes, I know. It's very difficult.
Thanks, Siri.
Siri has some opinions. Siri knows so much more than the rest of us. I mean, that's why the Chinese are doing what they're doing, right? I mean, when you have Siri basically deciding for you what to say.